Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I thought I would just very briefly answer a question I've been asked actually about 7 or 8 times in the last day or so because I made a comment about ZMA supplements being dangerous and pretty well useless. At least potentially dangerous. Because something is potentially dangerous doesn't mean it's automatically dangerous. And the reason I said that, very simply, for the majority of us, or at least the majority of people watching my channel, my demographic are people who train, people who work out, many of whom are athletes. The vast majority of you are burning quite a bit more calories than the average person. Your caloric needs are quite a bit higher, and the overwhelming majority of you eat probably mostly minimally processed foods. I doubt many people subscribing to my channel live on Pop-Tarts and whey protein isolate and fried chicken. You're probably eating a lot of fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, pretty much whole foods. So that being said, the overwhelming majority of you probably eat at least the minimum amount of zinc that you need for optimal functioning in your body for all the metabolic functions that zinc has in the body. And many of you might be eating double or triple already with no supplementations, no vitamins, anything like that. I know that for me, I very easily have days where I eat actually possibly an unsafe zinc intake, and I don't supplement things like that. I don't take a multivitamin. I don't take ZMA. And this is important because people get into these debates of micronutrients, which are vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients, all of that stuff about, well, more is better. No, more isn't always better. There are micronutrients, and particularly a lot of metals, that if you consume too much of it chronically, it can create toxicities in your body. Zinc happens to be one of those. And what they can do is that they can create dietary imbalances, because if you consume far too much of them, of certain ones, it can block your body's ability to absorb and utilize other ones. And in the case of zinc, zinc is also an example of that. If you consume an excessive amount of zinc regularly in your diet, it can inhibit absorbing copper, for example, and you can develop a copper deficiency as a result of it, which can cause you health problems, metabolic issues, all sorts of things. So that being said, since the vast majority of you are nowhere near deficient in zinc, you're getting all the zinc you need. Adding a ZMA supplement, and some of the ZMA supplements contain up to twice the amount of zinc you need just by themselves. So a lot of you are probably eating, some of you may be eating twice what you already need because you eat a pretty good diet. It may not be perfect, but it's probably a decent diet, and you're active. And then you go and add double again on top of it, well, you're creating a potential dietary imbalance that could cause you problems over time. And zinc is not something that I would recommend that you supplement unless you are absolutely certain, not that you suspect, but that you know for a fact that you eat only low zinc foods, you're deficient in it, or you have some sort of blood work showing a deficiency in it. But if you have blood work showing a deficiency in it, it might be that you're consuming way too much of something else or some other metal supplement that you're taking, maybe inhibiting your absorption of your zinc, which means something else that you're supplementing has caused a dietary imbalance. And so that's one of the reasons I'm not real big on these broad spectrum multivitamin and minerals, or people supplementing particularly individual metals like zinc in a ZMA supplement that they may not need in their diet. So when I made that statement, that's why. It's probably for the vast majority of you useless, and people who say, well, people who are cutting and they're in extreme deficits might not be getting enough zinc, and that might be one of the reasons your testosterone is low, and the ZMA will boost it back up. And my point to you is you don't have evidence of that. That is really making a big speculation when we know that large calorie deficits themselves can inhibit hormone production. They can throw your hormones out of balance. So even if you're adding the zinc back in, you're probably not necessarily going to fix it because you still don't have real evidence, because it's not conclusive. The majority of research doesn't show that ZMA boosts testosterone. And again, if your diet had enough whole foods in it, you probably still wouldn't be deficient in zinc, and you shouldn't be doing large calorie deficits anyways if you're concerned with overall hormone production, because it's going to cause a hit there. So that being said, I don't consider ZMA a useful supplement. I consider it to be a potentially dangerous supplement with no actual proven benefits. All right, guys, so that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time. But let me give you guys a bicep shot before I go.